Hey everyone, so today I'm just gonna be doing a face full of my makeup with the Gong by Perry Pear stuff that I got. But first I need to put on a sunscreen, and unfortunately I don't really like the sunscreen, which is why I'm putting it underneath heavy foundation or a kind of thick foundation because I need to use it up even though I bought it. Oh, there's so much stuff stuck to the cap. It's like, okay. But yeah, it needs to get used up. And I'm going to talk about some influencers and also some crazy people I knew in high school and the intersection between the two. So first, I want to talk about this because I just want to share my stories in case anybody else ever had similar experience. There was this crazy boy that I grew up with, and he's from my hometown, I guess. And well, one of them, because like I moved a few times growing up, so yeah. But anyway, this was one of them for high school and like some of middle school and stuff like that. And so, um, no, if I wear this one, I think if my skin is super moisturized like it is today, then at least this sunscreen looks a little bit better. Anyway, so this guy, and he ended up going to the same college as me because that year, I went to college for music. That year, our music teacher just got everybody to go to this school. And I was like, why? I didn't want to go to the school, by the way, the school that I went to and graduated from. And I always regret it because I'm just like, it's just like the worst. I guess I can talk about that at a different time. It was the worst school. Anyway, and I had better SAT scores than him, I think. So yeah. I think people thought he was gonna be like really good, and he kind of bottomed out. Like he didn't even get into National Honor Society. I mean, neither did I, but my siblings did. Okay, like half my siblings did, half my siblings didn't. Okay, so I think I've got enough sunscreen on, and now it really needs to dry. Actually, it's so moisturizing compared to last time. It probably looks way worse in person. I should bring a mirror so I can see what I actually look like. But I brought this to help dry it. Okay, so this guy that I went to is Pikachu fan. I got from all of you. Also I'm wearing like a whole get up today. Okay. So I'm not just wearing like an unbuttoned shirt. Let me get into the story. So this guy was weird, and he was below average attractiveness but not completely ugly. Middle class Protestant family. That's important. It comes back later. People thought, okay, he lied about so many weird things, and I ended up going to college with him, and then he and I had a spat in like pre-middle school era, like 5th, 4th grade, something like that. Like we were in the music department together, and just on sheer luck of him being a guy, he got so many opportunities just by being a guy. Like he was not particularly talented. It's not rare for guys to just get more than they deserve in music. So anyway, he and I used to argue a little bit, but then we kind of started to get on the same page. But then he told everybody I had a crush on him in high school, and I didn't. I was just trying to be nice, and I like joke around. I used to joke around a lot and be like more extroverted. I used to try really hard to be extroverted when I was younger. Now I embrace how much of an introvert I am. But my parents don't like introverts, so I always try to be extroverted. Emotional damage. But I would like joke around. I wasn't like too cringe though. Like some people who are introverted really can't socialize, but I would just like joke around. But same as the rest of the friends. But then he thought I liked him because people like to flatter themselves. And it ended up being that he lied about weird things. He was actually crazy because I talked to one of the girls from my hometown like years later, and she mentioned that he was saying things to her that were just like absolutely crazy. And he lied about so many weird things. Like he was super Christian, and I remember being in his classes, and he would talk about how we should be able to pray in school, like whether you're Christian or not. But he had a Jesus tie, and he was very Christian, and he was, I think, considering becoming a pastor. Yeah, he was super Christian, and he even at some point, like, his stance on gay rights was always changing, because at some point he was trying to argue that gay people had mental illness. He changed his stance, of course, on a lot of things just slowly. He was not really nice, but he was not as aggressive as other guys. So he had like a few girlfriends throughout high school. But also, like, the other thing is, I think he lied about losing his V card. But I don't know for sure because he was dating one of my friends for almost throughout the entire time we were in high school, at least half the time we were in high school, and on and off, of course. But she broke it off for real when she basically caught him cheating on her, I guess, or whatever it was. It was the last straw for her. Basically, we got to college and then suddenly we started hanging out more at first because, like, in my college, which was not a very good college, my music teacher also convinced me and the other girl from my grade to be roommates because it's better than getting paired up with a random person. Although I think I would have been fine being paired up with a random person. When I remember the freshman class from that year, there wasn't anybody like super weird, so I think it would have been okay. But anyway, so he was hanging out, and then he and her had been in a singing group at my high school. I wasn't in the singing group. I was always like too nervous to audition. So he would hang out in our room. And despite having gone to school with this girl for however many years, I guess because she was the only girl he knew around, like suddenly he was interested. But he pretended then when she was around like he wasn't because she didn't like him like that. Oh, I forgot that the mirror is covered. Oh yeah. Okay, so going to the cushion, which I think I've already tested in the shorts videos, so you can also check that. But basically, yeah, he decided he liked her suddenly, and then we're freshmen, right? And then I heard him, whoa. It was really obvious. He was doing her laundry and stuff. And I overheard him telling people, like, oh, she and I are gonna date. Like, we're not dating, but we're gonna date. And then he was, like, joking. He said he was joking. And then he had kind of had a joking tone. But then I was like, haha. And he was like, no, really, you don't get it. Like, we have so much chemistry, right? And then I told her, like, you know, he's telling people these things about you. So if people are not asking you out, it's probably because they think you're dating him. And then like she was like, told me, oh, I'm gonna have to, I accidentally said his name. She told me, like, so I told her and she was like, oh, are you sure? And I was like, well, I said this and then he said this. And then she was like, oh, okay. And then she went and confronted him about it, and then he said that I was lying, but she knew him longer because they were in the singing group together, and so she just believed him. And I was like, whatever, like, you know. And then they didn't date, of course, because I think she really like put on the brakes after that. Like, she stopped hanging out with him. My exact skin tone color, so I really need to make sure I get like a good layer of it on to cover so that my skin's not different colors, but also not too much to the point where it looks like a spray tan, you know. Also, I kind of like this because it's not like too scented, and cushion like fits quite nice. Well, at least on camera it looks good. That happened. She moved out of being my roommate then after that because of that, and because I think I was so too introverted for her. I don't really hold it against her, but I mean, the thing is, he had been doing this like forever, since we were in, I want to go on the summer side here. Before, actually not that long ago, I used this as an eyeliner and it looked really cool. But today, because of I'm wearing like muted colors, I want to go for this summer side. Okay, so my video stopped for a second, but nothing was missed. Anyway, didn't talk to him because like whatever, like he was a loser, and it just wasn't like worth it, like dealing with him. Yeah, and it just like sometimes it's just not worth it talking to people from your hometown, you know? Like, what do you get out of it? Okay, I will show what I'm doing, actually. Anyway, and then I heard these, like, freshmen, sophomore people, like, he was, like, in a fraternity. I heard these people, like, talking about him, and, they were like, oh, it's, like, Yom Kippur or something. And then they were like, oh, like, I was sitting at a table, like looking through my notes, like, looking at music. Oh, I can't buckle. Okay, I really can't mess up my eye shadow today. Be a bad day to mess up. Okay. And then they're like, oh, well, we should ask so and so. He would know. And it's this guy I go to school with. And I'm like, wait a minute, this guy. And I said his last name. And I was like, he's not, like, Jewish. So here's the thing. He told everybody he was Jewish, and he had convinced everybody that he was Jewish. Like, not for any particular reason other than to, I guess, seem a little bit different from other people. He was, like, hardcore Christian, like I told you in my class. He talked about how there should be, like, prayer in school. And, he said something about, like, saying prayers before tests, la 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 la. And, like, I'm just like, what? Like, he's hardcore Christian. Oh, this is, like, very dirty. I was like, he's a hardcore Christian. And they were like, what? Really? Like, no. He's Jewish. You're wrong. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, for no reason. And he would, like, I knew he would walk around saying, like, L'chaim. Which Jewish people don't walk around saying L'chaim as far as I know. I feel like it's just a theater kid thing. Because we were also in the theater program together. And I love why did I stop showing what I'm doing? Okay. No, for no particular reason, he had, like, tried to convince people that he was Jewish. I mean, he had convinced people. And, I think that's absolutely crazy. Like, you never know what men are just lying to you about. Later I talked to a girl from my hometown, and she said she hadn't told anybody about it. He is an attention hoe. Okay, so she hadn't really talked about it a lot, but she had a crush on him when we were younger, and then she stopped liking him and she started dating another guy, and then he was, like, threatening her, disguising it as a joke. And then another girl, it was the same thing, threatening her and disguising it as a joke, because he didn't like them. And when people tried to set them up, both of them, he didn't like them back. But he didn't want them to like somebody else, which is absolutely crazy. And on one of the occasions, he was bragging about how one of the girls liked him, but he didn't like them back. And, yeah, so he really liked the attention, even though he didn't like the girls and didn't want to date them, which I thought was crazy. I guess he just wanted them around in case nobody wanted to date him. Also, he dated my friend for, like, multiple years. I don't know exactly what they did, but they didn't lose their V card, okay? Then he dated a girl for 1 week, and he claims that's who he lost his V card to. In college, that's what he told me. I feel like he was lying, though. And, yeah, it's just crazy, like, how people can lie. But anyway, the fact that my roommate believed him and not me, I mean, I kind of got it. I mean, I kind of understood. But, okay, so I used this pink, like this. I swiped this one over the eyelid. And then I put this gold in the corners. And I really like it. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. And, I would use this, except it's totally the wrong color palette. It wouldn't look awful, but I'm going to use something more natural for my lips. And then I'm going to be basically done, which is a little bit boring. Anyway, it's just crazy, and it made me realize, like, I was the only sane person in my hometown. That's probably why I live in Korea now. I just checked my makeup in the bathroom, and it's not great in person, but it's not bad either. Actually, I think like having my skin was like super hydrated today for some reason, so that really helped with the foundation. Oh my gosh, I realized I forgot to put on blush. Okay, I'm back, and yeah, so I'm just gonna use this one, even though it's not quite the right color. Oh no. Used highlighter in so long. Okay. I don't even have a blush thing, so I just use this these days. If I use my hands or this, but because of the palette, I'm gonna use this. Okay, I could use this, but then it ends up looking too bright. So I'm gonna use actually the winter one. Okay. I don't want to mess up my makeup. I would rather be too little than too much, because this needs to, I need to blend this out also. Probably gonna run here though. But I think using them from the same color palette is gonna make it like make them more coherent, cohesive. I also need to really like blend this out. Okay. I'm gonna take this to blend. I'll blend because it's a little bit dark right here. Okay. Yeah. Just blend, blend, blend. I'm not like that kind of makeup, so. Okay. Oh, and by the way, like I realized like influencers are also like this. Because I used to follow this one influencer for kind of stuff around Seoul. Like, oh, like what's going on around Seoul, like what kind of things can I look at, especially when I was like newer and more of a tourist. And I thought like she does her content in English, so yeah. That's all I'll say. I don't really want to like give away who the person is, because I'm not gonna say something nice. And like her content also became, she's like very like male centered. Um, like she only talks about like men. It's kind of a lot. Anyway, I wonder how this looks in person. And anyway, I noticed like sometimes she still comes up on my FYP, even though I unfollowed her and all of that. Like the algorithm thinks I should be follow her, which is lucky for her. The algorithm likes her, I guess. And I noticed I know these stories about things that influencers do. So I had noticed that she posted a video about a pair of shoes that she didn't like. And I also noticed like they were an expensive pair of shoes, but they didn't fit her. And I've seen people buying things from the store. It's a luxury store. And I'm sad because this fell on the floor, but I'm gonna wear it anyway. I think I'm gonna wear this as my headband. Because, by the way, my clothing is black and white. Okay. I've been on the no mascara train for so long, especially in the Korean summer. I'm on the no mascara train. I've been there before everybody else. Yeah, because yeah, it can be itchy, and I'm tired of just like hating myself for. Of course, I've got like dark blonde eyelashes, dark blonde hair. Yeah. Also, fun fact: when I was like a kid, I had like white eyebrows, like, and like girls, like the girl in my preschool class was just like, "Why don't you have these?" And she had really thick eyebrows, and I like had like white eyebrows when I was like, finally recently got on the like kind of recently got on the like into curling them. It does keep them like your eyes better, so. Oh my gosh, what was I saying? Okay, so the influencer bought a pair of shoes that were really expensive and didn't fit. And I've seen people buying things in this luxury store before. They let you try them on in the store. I don't think she got fakes, because I think people would have called her out for having fakes. Like, but I think that basically she was like, sometimes influencers, she has other influencer friends, and sometimes influencers share stuff like stockings, bags, shoes, and I think she was sharing them with her friends and they weren't the right size, and so she made a video that she didn't like them. And I think that's what happened. Also, I think she lied about getting like a PR box, which is so funny because like it's a better review if it's not a PR box, right? And I'm just like, why would they lie about these things? Okay, do we think this or just heart? Nah, or just this. Also, I was like, she definitely lied. I could just tell by the cadence of her voice that she had lied about getting the PR box from like a certain makeup company. It's like the way, it's like a body language. I'm pretty like in tune. Okay, I don't want to say 100% because I don't know 100%, right? So do I like this or do I like, anyway, but I could tell it wasn't a PR box because I just know that brands have certain ways they want they want people to present their PR boxes and stuff. So I realized like she was lying about getting a PR box, and nobody else seemed to notice, but I could just kind of tell. And yeah, so I realized like influencers just lie about so much stuff, and she only did that just to make her value seem higher, I think, than it is. And yeah. So she used to be kind of a lifestyle. Now she's just like a beauty influencer, which is even harder market to break into. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this as my look today. Yeah. And also, okay, a girl from my hometown is trying to become an influencer, and she's trying to become a fitness influencer, and she body shamed me. If she blows up or anything like that, like she's really trying to become an influencer. She already started doing affiliate links and she doesn't have any followers. And she was like making a joke that like I didn't get sponsored by Amazon. Like, we know you wouldn't get sponsored by Amazon. It would be like the Ice Cube brand. But anyway, yeah, if she blows up, I'm gonna make a video exposing, because she body shamed me so bad in high school just because I had a chest and she didn't, and she was really jealous. That's the tea. I have to go now, but thank you for watching me do all of my Palace makeup. I'm gonna keep this boxing forever. Thanks for watching and bye.